Hey folks, Duke CT here, and you know what? I gotta say this, and if you disagree with me, fine, leave a comment, video response, what have you, but I think most of you will probably agree with me when I say this. And there's gonna be a bit of a rant, so if you let me indulge you for a quick second. I honestly, do not see why the WWE really needed to bring back Chris Jericho. In fact, I'm going to brain this thing out here, and I'm going to tie this all in. In fact, I don't know why they had to put Big Show near there. And I know Big Show is a feature. He's been there in the company for so long, but that's the problem. Big Show's been there since the Attitude Era, and the whole WCW Monday Night Wars and everything else. We've seen everything he can accomplish. I'm tired of seeing the Big Show. I'm tired of Chris Jericho. And what I would really like is to see some real stars. And quite sadly, when I look at both it's quite sad when I look at both Elimination Chamber matches. You know what I see? I see, really, besides CM Punk, no real true main eventers. Oh, sure, Daniel Bryan's got the title right now, but let's all be honest. Would you be surprised after he loses the title, he goes right back to the mid-card, shuffling, basically rocketing back down to the mid-card with nothing to do? I mean, would anyone of y'all will be surprised? It's pretty sad, because let's be honest, I really do enjoy most of these guys in the Elimination Chambers, both of them. I mean, to me personally, Kingston should be main eventing at this point, and Ziggler. And honestly, you look at, say, Barrett and Cody Rhodes, they're on their way. I personally think Cody Rhodes is really worse. I mean, I should do a rant video on how the Intercontinental title and the United States Championships are being basically underutilized, and even more so with the U.S. title being ignored, basically used as a prop. But I'll get there when I need. I'll get to it when I need to. And if you want to see me rant on that, leave a comment on there and let me hear my personal. If you want to hear my personal feelings about that. Anyway, when I look at the Elimination Chambers, both of them, it just comes out really clear is that there are no real main eventers in the WWE right now. Sure, you have Punk, but besides that, who else is there? Cena? He's wrapped up with The Rock, and when he does, a lot of people are really... I don't want to see Cena at this point in the main event. I'm getting really sick of him. Orton? I like Orton. I think he's rised up there. And he's young too. He's 31. I think he has really grown into his own. But we have these injury problems. He just came from a back injury, and now supposedly he has a concussion. I think he's going to probably have to retire, like Edge, next 2 or 3 years. So we have Randy Orton going to be gone at 33. And then when you have that, and I think Cena's going to retire too, because of his injuries. I think that stuff is going to pile up on him. He's going to have to retire. And who in the world is the WWE going to basically say, okay, who's the next guy going to step up? Tell me. I'm sorry. And it's sad because there's nothing there. There's no one there. It's a barren wasteland. Anyone with any type of interesting gimmick, anything else, gets completely shoved aside. Remember Alex Riley? Remember him? Yeah, I'm like, wow, man. I hope they do something after the Miz. He just after he had some confrontation with Dolph Ziggler, and then just went away, went to Superstars Land. And don't get me started with Drew McIntyre. I don't know what the hell they're doing with him. They're basically burying him to the point that, he's going to be so undesirable that no one's really going to cheer for him. Look, okay, you want to do that type of angle, fine. It worked with MVP, but 9 times out of 10, That stuff doesn't work with everyone else. To me, personally, with Drew McIntyre, last year he had a showcase. He showed himself to be really good in Elimination Chamber. And I thought, man, WWE's going to really do something with him. And what did they do? They sat on him. They basically sat on him and said, no, we're not going to do anything with him. And now, they're just like, oh, well, we're going to do this losing storyline and have Teddy Long basically try to fire him. And that would make him face, even though he has, and get him over with the crowd. Get him over with the crowd. But my thing is this. Here's a great idea to really help. How about you have him wrestle matches and everything else? Slowly get slowly see him as a wrestling skill. Show his charisma and all this type of stuff. Get him over that way as a heel and or a face. Because a lot of people did not like him. And a lot of people, people are very apprehensive about him. Oh, he sucks. But now, and when they saw how good he was in the Elimination Chamber last year, you build on that. You build and say, yeah, man, we can build something. We could do something with him. And instead, you just sit on him. And you wait till him to basically lose all type of appeal with the audience. And you wonder why no one really cheers for him. Same thing with Alex Riley. They give all this pop and circumstance, but in the end, guess what? Where he's in. Yep, superstars land. Where you basically all your heat will dry up and everyone will forget about you. Same thing with Ted DiBiase, Ted DiBiase, and so on and so forth. Might happen to the Funkasaurus, but we never can tell. This is a real problem with the WWE at this point. And I would love someone to come in and criticize me, or someone to come in and say, no, it's all part of the plan, you see. It's all part of the plan. And next 2 months after WrestleMania, you're going to see a brand new mid-card. It's going to be beautiful. It's going to be great. But you know what? With all these guys jumping like flies, I'm sorry. I just don't see it. They're not doing anything with these championships, especially with the Intercontinental title. I mean, there's nothing doing with the United States Championship. You're not doing anything with Alex Riley. You're not doing anything with Drew McIntyre. They're not doing anything. And I guarantee you, most of these guys, well, honestly, the people in the Elimination Chambers say, I believe Ziggler's going to go back to the mid-card. Kofi's going to go right back with him. Miz and Truth will be basically right back. I wouldn't decide those two actually will reform Awesome Truth for no reason. I wouldn't get past them. And for the SmackDown one, I expect Khali to go right back to his feud with Jinder. I have no charisma and no real heat Mahal. Big Show, I think he'll turn heel somehow, and they're gonna do a whole, him and Shaq. Man, they're gonna have him and Shaq fight. Santino will do some silly crap or what have you. Barrett will just continue talking about the Barrett Barrage and saying this is a new year and everything else, and it ultimately get forgotten. Cody Rhodes will probably lose the title during a match of Superstars and be basically forgotten about. And will be dropped the title with no real repercussions and just go out the world title, Now you're looking for a rematch. And this is what happens, This is what's going to happen. And I would love someone to convince me otherwise, but I don't see anyone, and I don't see anybody from either side of the Chambers, or any side of the Raw or SmackDown or what have you, to really do anything. And it's a shame, because I really do like a lot of these guys. And I mean, I do like the Ziggler, Kingston, Miz, Truth, Barrett, Rhodes, Bryan, and Punk, and all those guys. I know at least, Punk will probably be fine. I think Punk and Jericho. Jericho's going to take his championship, and they're going to fight at WrestleMania for it. That's what's going to happen. And that sort of thing. I don't really know what's really going to happen. I just don't know what type of, plan. Not plan, but something. There has to have some type of something to really rejuvenate the mid card. Get the people involved. Get the people caring about these guys. Because remember, back in the day, heck, you can go even farther. Like in the 80s, they cared about their mid card. And WWE cared. And you know what was the most unifying thing? You know what actually, the whole thing that connects all of it? There was competition. There was competition all those times when they had to push these guys. They had to make every person matter. Now there's little to no competition. No competition whatsoever and such. WWE just says, yeah, since after 2001, when they bought WCW and ECW, they didn't really give a damn. And now, this is the whole thing coming together now. It's all come together, and it's gonna probably fall apart because there's no real stars, and the stars they do have, as much as how good they are, at the end of the day, they're not going to be as memorable. I mean, Punk might be memorable, Daniel Bryan maybe, I don't know, but Cena is not going to be memorable. He's not going to be holed up with Hulk Hogan or anything else. He doesn't have any notorious great promos. He's just going to be a guy who got cheered and booed and being so controversial. Where basically he's not really controversial. He just basically gets booed a lot. That's what he is. He has no controversial stance. He has no real things that really divide the people on. He just basically, the people don't really have any connection to him. The most of the older audience, they don't believe him. But that's another thing for another time. But there's no real connection like those guys had. Those people, those guys don't have a connection. Maybe Punk has somewhat of a connection, but honestly, everyone else, they're just there. There's no real connection to any of them. Nothing. And I know someone would say, you're a punk mark or anything, you suck. Okay, fine. I am. I do suck. I like CM Punk. But you know what? Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me right now, is there any WWE superstar right now, right at this very moment, continue on the WWE their entire career, can be as memorable or as someone as something that people, it's ingrained in your memories of what they can do and everything. Right now, the way the WWE is featuring them, the way the WWE is featuring these guys right now, is there anyone, and I mean it, anyone that is going to stand out next 5 or 10 or 15 or 20 years from now? That's the question. Anyway, that's all I got to say. Dude CT here. Peace and love. Peace and love. I'll see y'all when I see y'all later.